Yo, what is up everyone? My name is Jack Cross from NASCAR on MDK, and oh my god, well, welcome to another edition of Inside the Lines, and we have a bombshell of a story. Breaking news coming from Indianapolis, Indiana. We're just gonna jump straight into it. IndyCar and IMS, Indianapolis Motor Speedway, has been bought from freaking Roger Penske. I'm not even joking. Roger Penske has bought IndyCar, the Indianapolis Motor Speedway, and the IMS Corporation. Now, this came out of the blue. No one, at least to the public, had any idea that this would take place, but apparently some insiders have speculated this could happen. A couple of tweets from Adam Stern. One first says here, let's start with the first one. It says, IndyCar / IMS this afternoon, or this morning I should say, have announced a bombshell sale of the company to Roger Penske's Penske Entertainment Corporation. While Mark Miles had maintained that Holman and Company wasn't for sale, Indy insiders long said it would be sold eventually. Adam Stern continues on to say, Mark Miles told SBD, or Sports Business Journal, as recently as September that Holman and Company was not for sale. But some insiders had long predicted one, as IndyCar was one of the biggest family-owned of sports and appeared ripe for a buyout. Now, you're probably wondering, what does this have to do with IndyCar? This is mainly more IndyCar news. What does this have to do with NASCAR? It actually does a lot with it. Now, 2021, that is when we're supposed to have a brand new schedule where even some tracks could be taken out of the schedule. Many people were speculating and hoping that Indianapolis would be one of those tracks to be taken off of the schedule. Well, now, with Roger Penske now at the helm of it, or I shouldn't say he didn't bite himself, but he's basically near the top of owning everything, including Indianapolis. It now only further solidifies that NASCAR is going to be returning to Indianapolis for a long time. Roger Penske even said during a press conference that took place at 11 a.m. this afternoon that he wants to make Indianapolis an entertainment spectacle for all of Indiana. He even said, you know, can we get like a more IMSA, like an IMSA race there? I believe there was an IMSA race back in 2012, 2013. Can we get a Formula One race in here? We're not going to get into that. You know, the whole debacle back in 2005. And having a better relationship with Indianapolis and NASCAR. Even Jim France posted a statement regarding the sale of, or regarding the buyout of IndyCar from Roger Penske, and he said that they hope to have a better relationship with Roger Penske and Indianapolis. So, for those of you that are wondering, or that are hoping for Indy to be gone for the schedule, I'm sorry to dampen your dreams, but Indy is staying for the foreseeable future from 2021 beyond. So that is the bad part. I'm not going to be talking into the details on how this could be good or bad for IndyCar. I'll let David Land speak on that situation because he knows a lot more about IndyCar than I do. There are some good and some... I will say this. There are some good and bad things about it. The first bad thing that jumps to my mind is guaranteed spots in the Indy 500. For those who don't know, during Indy 500 month, Roger Penske was one of, I believe, 3 IndyCar team owners. I believe it was him, Chip Ganassi, and Michael Andretti. I could be wrong about that. But I think he was one of those 3 that won in guaranteed spots in the 500. I think the last time they had it was back in like 96, 97. The first year of the split took place. But there are good and there are bad things. Who knows? It could be the end of spec racing. Roger Penske, knowing how much of a racer he is, I'm pretty sure he does not like spec racing. I'm pretty sure he wants it back to the good old days. Doesn't want every car to be the exact same thing and only engines remain the difference. And the interesting thing about this, not only that, is the fact that this sale could also make a NASCAR IndyCar doubleheader more likely. Way earlier, around the middle of the year, around June, July, I want to say, maybe even August, there were talks about maybe NASCAR and IndyCar doing a doubleheader for one race weekend. Mark Miles said, I believe, how they would like to do that, but that's not on the table as of yet. It could be wrong, but I believe that was around in that area on how it was discussed, but nothing really has come out of it. Now, with Roger Penske at the helm, Penske very involved with IndyCar, very involved with NASCAR. NASCAR looking to have a better relationship with, is going to have a better relationship with Roger Penske. I won't be surprised if maybe in 2021, 2022, you could expect a IndyCar NASCAR doubleheader. I heard one thing during the Roval on how maybe they could do an All-Star Challenge with having IndyCar up first and the All-Star Challenge during the Charlotte Roval, then the Cup Series right after, or something of that nature. I'm down for it. I'm down for an IndyCar NASCAR doubleheader. Fans have been wanting one for a long, long time. So I think with this sale, it's just going to increase those chances of a doubleheader happening as recently as 2021, I believe, or even 2022, but somewhere very near the future. Now on to our final story. Now this should have been our top story of the day, but the second story came out basically the same time as the IndyCar Penske buyout took place. Kyle Busch, he's been one of those drivers that we've been speculating for a long time. Is he going to make a run in IndyCar? You know, what other form of motorsport is he going to do? Because he's an extremely talented race car driver, and he is one of those few drivers that has been talked about repeatedly on him doing something outside of NASCAR. And today it was announced that he will be participating in the 2020 Rolex 24 at Daytona with the Lexus RC GT3 for Aim Vassler Sullivan Racing in the GTD class. Now the only reason why this came about was because Toyota has a relationship with Lexus Racing in the IMSA side. So that's the only reason why Kyle Busch probably was able to have this opportunity. Unlike Jeff Gordon, you know, when he raced in the Rolex 24, he raced, I believe, in a Cadillac, and I think that's part of General Motors. Chevrolet is also part of General Motors, so it kind of made sense. But Lexus, Toyota, wasn't expecting that sort of relationship, but apparently it's happening. The interesting thing about this was the fact that Kyle Busch was, I think, the third driver they approached, or one of three drivers they approached. Denny Hamlin and Mark Truex Jr. were also given the opportunity to drive for this car. Truex said no, and Hamlin, he had to have a 10-month rehabilitation due to a shoulder injury he suffered during the year. So Kyle Busch was a man for the job. I'm very interested to see how Kyle Busch will be able to do in a GTD car. Probably this is going to be the first time he probably even done something outside of NASCAR since he's entered into the Cup Series. But yeah, I'm not a big. I don't like Kyle Busch. I'm not a big fan of Rolex racing or the IMSA racing, but I'll be sure to tune in to see how Kyle Busch does in his debut at Daytona. And that's going to end today's episode. Sorry for only 2 stories. They were quite big, if you ask me, but yeah, only 2 stories for today's Monday episode. Tell me, what do you guys think of any of these 2 stories? How do you think Kyle Busch will fare in his GTD debut at Daytona? What do you think of Roger Penske, IMS, IndyCar? What do you think of this whole sale? Do you think it's going to work out? What do you expect to happen in the future? What do you think is going to happen between IndyCar, IMS, and NASCAR with this buyout? Tell me everything in the comment section down below. We'd love to hear your guys' thoughts on that. But don't forget to leave a like and subscribe for more content. And until next time, my name is Jack Ross from NASCAR on MDK. And I'll see you guys in the next video.